Hello YouTube, it's Carrie Ann, and welcome to part 4 of the Nava Lapghan crochet along. And in the last video we stopped here. So this is how far we've gotten. So we've done pattern 1, we've completed pattern 2, and now we're moving on to pattern 3, which is super simple. Consists of 3 rows, and it's basically very similar to pattern 1, just in reverse. For this pattern 3, you're going to need your background color, which in my case I'm using beige, and then your pattern color, and in my case I'm using black. I just want to do a little bit of housekeeping before we begin. And let's not forget, you need your 5mm hook and a pair of scissors. Before we begin, I just want to do a little bit of housekeeping. I did have a subscriber point out to me that in the written pattern there was an error in colors. If you have purchased the written pattern, there's a link below in the description. I just want to let you guys know that that has been corrected. And if you did purchase the pattern, you should have received an email with that corrected pattern PDF. If you haven't received it, if you purchased the pattern and you did not receive it, please let me know. Either email me or comment below, and I will get that out to you. And I just want to apologize for that error. Sorry if it caused confusion. Or was caused any inconvenience. One of my biggest fears as a designer and a pattern writer is that I'm gonna make a mistake, and when you guys go to crochet, a mistake is gonna happen, and it's gonna be an inconvenient mistake. So I work really hard at trying to make sure that the written pattern is indeed correct, and again, I do apologize for that mistake. So that being said, let's go ahead, and you guys know the drill by now. Let's go ahead and begin with some gratitude. So whenever I make a blanket, I always want to make sure that I'm in the right headspace. I give these blankets away to people, and I want to make sure that I'm pouring all my love and gratitude into each and every stitch. And when I get frustrated, I put it down and walk away and come back to it, because I don't want to pour those frustrations into the gift that I'm making. So today I am grateful for the shoes on my feet, the clothes on my back, and the roof over my head. I am grateful for the clean water that flows freely from my faucet and the food in my cupboards. I am grateful that I'm sitting in a warm house because it's very cold out today. I'm grateful for all of my families, all of my friends. May they be blessed, healthy, and safe. I am grateful for all the subscribers and followers on this channel. Thank you for your kind words, your encouragement, and your comments. May you also be blessed, healthy, and safe. So that being said, let's get right into pattern number 3. Okay guys, we're going to move on to pattern number 3. So just a reminder, just make sure that you have tied your ends on the right side of your piece. We did that at the end of our last video. And I like to do that as I move through my project, so I don't forget. And just wanted to remind you. Also, I wanted to let you know that not only are we doing pattern number 3, but we're also I'm gonna talk about the 5 accent rows that we need to do before the next pattern in the next video. So here is your row for pattern number 3 right here. very basic row. Row 1 is a border stitch, single crochet, 119, and then a border stitch. So this is one of those relaxing rows. Now I am using this row starts with color B, which is your pattern color, and it is black. We know already that black does not show up well on camera, but I will do my best here. Of course, I'm not going to show you every single stitch. Just remember, we're going to start with our border stitch, which you put your hook under both loops of the first stitch, pull up a loop, move your tail out of the way. You do not want to be using your tail to crochet your stitches. Yarn over, pull over, tighten that up a little bit. Under the same stitch, you're going to go under both loops, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through 2 loops. And then we are ready to do 119 single crochets. Remember that single crochets are always done in the back loop. So here is your front loop of your stitch, and here is the back loop. Put our hook through the back loop, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. And we're going to do that all the way down to the end of this row. And it's one of those relaxing rows. We don't have to count and take our time. And I will see you at the end of this row. Okay, I am just coming to the end of my row here. That was nice and relaxing, wasn't it? Well, I do that. Just curiosity, what are you guys grateful for today? If you want to share that with everyone, I would love to hear what your gratitude list. If you want to post that in the comments below, I would love to hear about you and your day. And there's my last stitch before my border stitch. And here is my border stitch. And just like we did at the beginning, it's the same at the end. And put your hook under both loops of that stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up 2 loops, and we're going to leave our hook on the yarn, and we're going to cut our yarn, leaving a tail, yarn over, and pull our yarn all the way through and tighten that up gently. Okay, so that was row 1. So easy, right? And relaxing. We're going to move on to row 2. And let me get my yarn ready here. We are using our color A, or our background color, and in my case I'm using beige. And let's go to the beginning of this row here. And I know black is so hard to see on camera. Okay, so here is row number 2 right here. So go ahead and pause the video and jot that down in your notebook. And let's go ahead and get started with our border stitch. That's difficult to see. Always under both loops of that first stitch. And there's my border stitch. So for row 2, we did our border stitch. Now we're going to single crochet 5 stitches. Remember, your single crochets are always in the back loop of your stitch. 1, 2, oh, look at that, I split my yarn. Guys, just so you know, when that happens, just stop what you're doing, start that stitch over. If you don't, nobody else may notice it, but you are going to notice it in your work. So when you split your yarn like that, just take the time to do the stitch over. It will bother you because you will see it. At least it bothers me. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. We need one more. I think I'm doing it again. Nope. Okay. Okay. So 5 single crochets, and then it says 1 double, 1 single for 54 times. So just like we did in pattern 1, we're crocheting all the way down the row, 1 double, 1 single. So it's every other stitch. So remember, your double crochets are in the front loop of the row below. So here's my next stitch, and this is where I'm going to put my double crochet stitch. I'm going to do that. Double crochet 1, single crochet 1. Double crochet 1, single crochet 1, double crochet 1, single crochet 1. We're going to do that all the way down the row, and you're going to get this look. So every other row. So we started with our 5 singles, and then we're doing every other stitch, double, single, double, single. And it says to repeat that 54 times. If you don't want to count, you want to stop that repeat when you have 6 remaining stitches plus your border stitch left. So when you see 6 remaining stitches plus your border stitch, that's when you're going to stop, and I'll pick up when I get to the end of this row and show you what to do. So I'll see you there at the end. Okay guys, so I am at the end of my row here, and I have 6 stitches left in my border stitch. So I'm done with my repeats, and if you look at the ending stitches, you'll see you'll need to do 1 double crochet. So here's my 1 double, and then you're going to end with 5 single crochets and your border stitch. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then my border stitch. There we go. We're going to go ahead and cut the yarn, finish our border stitch here. And that's what you should be looking at there. So we're going to move on to row 3, which is super easy too. And we're going to wrap up this video. So it's going to be a pretty quick video, but that's okay, because the next couple of patterns are a little long. So let's go on to row 3. Okay, now we're moving on to row 3. We're using our color B, which is our pattern color, my case I'm using black. Row 3 is right here, and very similar to row 2, just in the opposite colors. So let's go ahead and start with always your border stitch at the beginning of the row. Oops. There's my border stitch, and now we are going to do 5 double crochets in the beginning. So double crochet 5, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And this row is very simple. It says single crochet 1, double crochet 1 times 54. So once again, we're just alternating our stitches. So we're doing 1 single and 1 double. One single and 1 double. One single, 1 double. And we're just doing that all the way down the row. And that's how we should be looking. And if you don't want to count, when you get to your end of your row, make sure you have 6 remaining stitches and your border stitch. And that's where I'm going to pick up when I have 6 remaining stitches left and my border stitch. And I'll see you at the end. Alrighty, I'm towards the end of this row here. So just finishing my last 6 stitches and my border stitch. So it says here we're going to do 1 single crochet and then 5 doubles. So we'll do the 1 single and then 5 doubles. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we're going to do our border stitch, which is you put your hook under both loops, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and then we cut our yarn, leaving a tail. Yarn over, pull your yarn all the way through, and tighten that up a little bit. So that's row 3, and that is the end of this pattern. And this is what you should be looking at. So we ended this section of my pattern just the way we began it. So now I want to talk about what's next. So give me a few moments to gather up some yarns and some colors, and we'll talk about what your next 5 rows are going to look like. Okay guys, so we finished up pattern 3, and before we move on to pattern 4, I am going to tell you what to do for your next 5 rows. So in between my panels and my original work here, if you see, I have 5 rows of single crochet. So this is the original blanket that I did, and I have 5 rows in between each section, and these I call my accent rows. So this is where I use some accent color. So, and I'm gonna put the rows and the colors right here, and these we are going to call your accent rows, and you need to do 5 rows of single crochet. You can use the colors that I'm using, or you can use whatever colors go with what you decided. So I did 1 row of single crochet in my dark brown. So that's how I began my piece. My foundation row began with that dark brown. See? And if you're following along with the colors I did, that's how you started your piece. So your next row is going to be single crochet in the back loop only of the dark brown. Then I do a row of single crochet in black, this color here. There's the black. And then I do a row of single crochet of my favorite color, and this is turquoise, and that's here. Oh, I don't know why I have that. And then we go back to a row of black, and then end with a row of black, dark brown. And that is what you need to do before we move on to this pattern, which is pattern number 4, which I'm working on doing that video tutorial this weekend, so it should be posted by tomorrow. I'm probably working on it right now as we speak. So that'll come out probably tomorrow. But in the meantime, you're going to want to do those 5 rows of single crochet in the back loop only of dark brown, black, turquoise, black, and dark brown. So that's the border stitch at the beginning of your row, 119 single crochet stitches in the back loop only, and then an ending border stitch. And that's what you're going to do for the next 5 rows. So that's it for today's video. I hope your projects are coming along. I hope you're doing well. If you want to share with us or with me what colors you chose, what yarn you chose, any ideas, tips, tricks, how you're doing with the project, put your comments below and share with myself and with everyone else who's following along how it's going. So probably we'll see you guys tomorrow with a video for this pattern here. Bye for now.